Thank you. Hey, guys, come on. This is ridiculous.
You know who's going to win next year, too, probably?
It's like talking about the Met minor league system.
Yeah. You know which basketball team's probably going to win next year, too?
Yeah.
The Lions.
The NCC Lions?
Yeah. They win every year.
Okay. Do they?
Yeah.
But they don't do well in like when they have the big championships. I didn't think they did. Oh, right.
And Chris, it's funny what you said about the Triple Crown. No. If I was an ad exec, the perfect thing you put for the Islanders is we have the horses too.
You
know what I'm saying? I mean,
but not the train.
Hold your horses. Yeah.
Not hold your horses.
I can't believe how badly the trains performed at Belmont and at the U.S. Open. Shinnecock. I know my father took the train there. My father-in-law took the train there from Patchogue to there. It took 2 hours from Shinnecock, wherever it was, from whatever Hampton to Patchogue.
I tell you this, for Pride Fest, there wasn't much complaint about the trains because not many people showed up.
Oh, really?
Most of the people I know in Long Beach said it was a normal weekend.
Really?
Just a few extra people showed up. It's not a big money maker. But they also had Forest Hills that day, a lot of Forest Hills concerts now. And I think Grateful Dead was that weekend too, or in company.
Yes.
So there's a lot of stuff going on for the railroad.
Last week was a lot of stuff. Yeah, you had tons and tons of stuff in this here area, the U.S. Open, and there was a lot of stuff.
Mark, you work security and you had to pay for the train?
No, I'm just saying because you would have heard about it
if
there was a problem. You know what I'm saying? All these different events.
Pardon my civil servant's hair.
No, we got a company escort from the offices.
All right, that's what it's all. It was funny listening to the music before you. Olag boys, listening to the music before you, and I can actually keep a rhythm going for 45 seconds. It just keeps going over and over.
He looped it because I said.
And then you go to Savalas, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then you go to Rabbi Pearl.
That was me. I had a minute to.
I understand. I understand.
He said
it was the greatest combination.
Normally we have a promo there, but there was no promo there, so I got to pick what I want, my own promo, and. I thought his song looked like it was still going on. He's like, no, I'm just looping it. Oh, okay, all right. So
no, it was great. I mean, even the music was good. Even Tchaikovsky went from a yarmulke to a sombrero.
No, I had my gyro too.
There you go.
No more Empress. What happened?
All right.
Yeah. Welcome to Uniondale, boys.
Look at how many stores are closing now. I think Payless Shoes is now bankrupt. Limited, all these stores just going out.
And the funny
Michael
thing,
Kors.
and Chris, I know you know more than me, but the Supreme Court ruling that came over at 10 o'clock this morning.
That was about the internet sales tax states can collect.
Yeah. I mean, all of a sudden, everybody said, we don't have a corporate office here, so we can get away with with Amazon.
Right.
We don't have to pay taxes and stuff like that. Now you got to pay individual state taxes.
I got news for you, though. New York has already been doing that for years.
They have been, yeah, they have been.
So they're already ahead of the game.
You mean New York overtaxes us?
Yeah.
No way. Come on.
Said the civil servant with a pension waiting for him.
I'm running. I'm waiting for that to start his gun to go off.
Yes, exactly. Then you could mail the check to North Carolina, Florida. Where are we sending that check to?
Arizona.
Like whatever you called it, she was coming soon.
Yeah, like Havasu.
Like
it's
at
very
you.
big with Jewish lawyers, Havasu.
Yeah. Well.
I'm just curious, and I'm looking at the picture now. Free shirt Friday tomorrow.
Oh, is it Rosario?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's Rosario.
And I'm looking at, I'm looking at the tattoos. You actually now have to identify. I'm looking right at his face. I don't know who this guy is.
It's funny. I think that's when I was just, as I was driving the other day, I was trying to figure out when I really stopped caring about watching college and pro basketball. It was the tattoos. That's really what it was for me. It was like, forget it.
Yeah, but now I'm looking at his face. I saw it. I thought it was Reyes at first, and I'm like, well, I got to go buy his tats now. And they're actually having to put the tats on the darn shirts that they had.
There was a guy, who did I see the other day, who did something, it was a pretty good sports story, but he had what looked like a Tetris board on his arm. And it turned out it wasn't that. It was just he just liked the design. But it was a Tetris. It was Tetris to me. I was like, what? What's going on there? I'm trying to think of who it was.
When is somebody going to put a chessboard on their arm or chest?
I remember we had Jason Whitlock on back in the day when these guys were in grammar school, and it was the year that Durant and Odin were both coming out, and he was talking so highly about Durant, and he's like, he doesn't have a single tattoo, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and it was Whitlock's words. It was just kind of very interesting. So I was like, all right. And then we just saw Odin and I see the list of they were comparing this guy who went number one overall tonight and one of his comparisons, body-wise and everything, is Greg Oden. It's like,
I don't know if I don't be
keep that one to yourself.
And Durant, all of Durant's tattoos are under his jersey.
That's right.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, you don't see him.
So we can go to his second job somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. Well, he did go to his second job. He went to the Warriors.
No, just so I understand that. That's just so I know. This way you can go to your second job, work the 4 hours part-time, and nobody sees the tats. Okay, good.
Well, there used to be, and I say this, I was at the Princeton Club in the city today, actually, but it used to be said that the phrase was, it stands out like a tattoo at a country club. And George Schultz, who went to Princeton, had a Princeton tiger tattooed on his butt. And apparently he couldn't get into country clubs because of that. He was the Secretary of State. So that's how things have changed, basically.
I won't ask who added them, but the point. So.
Probably a Harvard.
Your cousins would never get a tattoo.
Yours?
No, her cousin, his cousin.
The Kardashians?
Yeah.
They don't have tattoos?
No. It's like putting a bumper sticker on a BMW. Who puts bumper stickers on BMW?
Well, because all of their husbands and boyfriends and everything else have tons of them.
Yeah.
Lamar Odom, Tristan Thompson, right? I mean, it's like,
believe me, I'm not in their will if one of them should go real fast. But I'm hoping as far as presidential appeals, I might be on the list just in case something happens.
That is a pretty good power to have, the power to pardon people. You get a pardon, and you get a pardon. You get a car, and you get a car.
Yeah. It was funny. I was listening to 710 tonight, and they said, obviously, the division is gone with the Mets. And then they went through the teams
so the Mets lose
today. Jump over for the wild card.
Yeah, they lost 6-4.
Oh yeah, but they were talking about the teams that the Mets might have to jump over to get to the wild card. I swear to goodness, they actually said
Scranton Wilkes-Barre.
the Expos and the Pilots.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. They looked good. Bad things always happen to them. I've said this for a decade now. I've been on this show since 2004. Bad things happen to the Mets once they hit Colorado. It just ruins you. It ruins you as a team. It ruins. Has anyone here ever been in that kind of altitude? I've never been.
No, I've never been to Colorado.
Yeah. I've only been upstate, like for football camps before, and then the first practice I've ever had there, I was trying to eat the air.
Yeah,
that's how bad it is. I was trying to eat the air because you couldn't do anything. Yep. You can't do anything up there. Like your body's not. Yep. It takes a few hours just walking around to actually get your body fully used to it, and sometimes you're still not even adjusted to it.
I'm actually not capable of going to high altitudes. I go into high altitudes, I shut down, I start falling asleep.
Well, there was that player, was he on the Steelers, I think? He had that disease, and the Steelers, instead of going playing in Denver, they keep him home. He went once, and bad things happened.
He was a starter?
I think he's got something similar to sickle cell. Yeah, I think he's got something similar to sickle cell anemia.
Yes, I think so.
Look, just Google that to see who that is. The Steelers.
It was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, I think I think not even closer to that. Like within the last 3 or 4 years, he's a guy.
And don't forget that the Mets put somebody with a concussion on a plane to go there.
Oh yeah, well, there was a couple of things that they did.
Ryan Clark,
yeah. There's a couple. Who's now on ESPN? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. The Mets put a guy with concussion on a plane cross country twice, and they had him go to Colorado in that altitude. Yep, that's the Mets.
And let's not forget the Mets yesterday. Who was their left fielder?
Dominic Smith, who had 3 good hits yesterday.
Yeah. Dom Smith, a slow, plodding left fielder.
Yeah, but that's Cespedes,
and the great thing about 710, it goes, everything that was hit at him, he caught. No, that's not the point of being an outfielder.
Well, being an outfielder in Colorado, though, is just nuts. Everything's a double or a triple. So no matter what you do, whether you get the ball slow or fast, it's gonna be a double or a triple.
Yeah, I think Dave turned on 710 trying to listen to something else because that game was on.
Yeah, who they preempt, Limbaugh and Hannity?
No, I actually listened to them, and I tell you, is the Schadenfreude. I just love listening to guys talking about how if we had a couple more U-boats, we would have won the war, and everybody would speak in German. Yeah. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't have anything that can. And then Todd Frazier comes on and goes, we put a couple of good innings together every night.
Exactly. Just not the most important one at the end.
Yeah.
They have played exciting ball. They've lost, but I will take the exciting ball. The problem is Cespedes isn't there, and there's no sign of him coming back.
They're not even talking about him.
Yeah, they're not even talking about him.
When they're not talking about you, that's when you know it's like,
got even funnier,
let's just keep pushing it to the side.
They were asking how Mickey Callaway for his update. And they got up to, they're like, okay, Cespedes, no, same as yesterday. That was his update.
Yeah.
And then they go to someone else. Oh, then he was happy to talk to someone else.
Exactly.
They'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like, but like Noah Syndergaard felt well enough to have a catch the other day. It's like, oh, that's signs of progress. Okay, great. Yeah,
know something.
But Lugo, you take a Lugo, who's a curveball specialist, and you put him in Colorado.
Nope.
Darryl Kyle. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and they brought up a whole bunch of talent from AAA tonight.
Well, and they wasted, and they signed Swartzak like the minute he was available, the minute free agency had started. They went and signed him, and they gave him a lot of money, which made everyone else they couldn't sign. That was the opportunity cost of not signing everyone else. Yeah. And he's been on the DL all year, and I don't see anything special about the guy. He doesn't seem to be. And they overused Blevins to where he's just ordinary. I like Gazelman, but even Gazelman in Colorado is not so good. And I like Gazelman. I like Lugo. But there's only so much they can do. And Familia should be traded yesterday.
I told you that last week. Houston and get prospects.
And Ramos, who's now done for the year, that was a guy who he hated not closing anymore. So he wasn't. That's what it was. It was, he's injured. I'm sure he's got a torn leg, whatever he's got. But he just was done. He wanted no part of not closing for the Marlins anymore, for the Mets anymore. He wasn't closing. He had been a closer. There's no closer money to be had in his next paycheck. He's like, forget it.
Where are the agents that say, dude, you've lost it? The best thing in the world is to become a middle reliever type of guy.
Yeah.
At least extend your career for a couple extra years. Get a 1.7 or 1.8. You can live in the Dominican the rest of your life, and you're going to be the king.
Right. If you are thinking that at 29, you're still going to be a Hall of Famer.
No.
It's like no Hall of Famer becomes a Hall of Famer at that. It turns it on and goes, okay.
At that point.
It's like watching DeGrom now. DeGrom's 30 years old now. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's going to have a nice career.
You don't think so? Well, it depends on how it finished, maybe.
Yeah, but that's a lot.
They don't care about the whole
they don't
anymore.
They don't.
It's
but he's not going to get paid for another 2 years either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I know. But I do want to give one compliment to the Mets. 5 double plays. The game went a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Where's Michael Goodine?
I love last night they got the bases loaded, right, and 1 out.
Oh, I was watching this.
And they got a choice of 2 pinch hitters. They can go with Kevin Policki, who doesn't hit who's slow as molasses.
Batting below the edge
is a catcher because it's Colorado.
Yeah, he had
under 200.
Yeah. Or Rosario,
who's been hot, who they took out to put Reyes in his spot already,
and who's not going to get doubled up.
He's not going to get doubled up. So this is the thing too. Reyes was at first,
right?
So there was definitely no possible chance for them to get doubled up.
Exactly. So instead, it's the old 5-5-3 double play. Yeah. Hit the third. He steps on third, and he throws across the diamond, mind you,
and catches him by a mile.
The pitcher caught it on the way over.
Exactly. Oh, you're the cutoff man. Oh, throwing through? Sorry. Oh, yeah.
That was horrible.
And
I'm like, are you kidding me?
And the answer for why they didn't use Rosario? Did you hear the answer why they didn't use Rosario? Because they might have needed an infielder later in the game. All right. Well, considering you had an infielder playing left field,
what was the issue? And that was already the 7th inning, right?
It was, exactly. Yeah, so what's going to... Okay, if you need another infielder... You've got Flores playing first. Mm-hmm. Move him anywhere else. He can play third. Second, short, or third. It's like you'd bring Polecki in, put him at first, and then if you lose an infielder, because Flores can go to second, short, or third. You had Reyes in, he can go second, short, or third, and you had Frazier in, he can go second, short, or third. So what's the issue?
They don't pay us.
This is
you see how we figured that out?
This is a one and done manager. Yeah. This guy is done. He's going to have to get. He'll do. I have no doubt in my mind Callaway will have a nice managerial career, but it will be with an American League team, and it'll be somewhere where he's got a good bench coach, because he doesn't have a good bench coach here. He needs a Don Zimmer type, because before he was with smart managers like Francona who were smart.
Baltimore could be a place.
Showalter.
The way the bad they're doing.
He's a Texas guy. So.
Maybe an AL Central, AL West kind of thing then.
So I got a question, right? With the whole Kawhi Leonard thing now, the Spurs are coming up to pick right now.
Right.
What, you think they go straight for a small forward right away?
They left the Lakers off. The Lakers made an offer. Well, Kawhi Leonard is a free agent after this year.
Anyway.
So he's got 1 year left.
They picked the shooting guard from Miami. Lonnie Walker.
They picked Lonnie Walker, yes.
So that means, about time, but that means Danny Green is out there. But I don't know. Greg Popovich. Yeah, so Kawhi, I think, already came out and told Popovich that wherever you trade me to, I'm only going to stay there for 1 year and then sign to the Lakers.
Right.
So I don't know what the Lakers is trying to offer them, but I don't know.
And I think Kawhi Leonard is being stupid because the Lakers have no loyalty to him. They're not going to. They'll like if something else comes along.
Definitely.
That's we don't need you.
Definitely.
He doesn't offer enough